Hello YouTube and fellow DC comic fans, I'm Keith One Shot, and this is my Comic Complete dramatic reading series, and today we will be covering Titans Rebirth, Issue 2, from DC Rebirth. All art, text, characters, and storylines belong to DC Comics, not me, and if you enjoy these stories, feel free to go out and support DC Comics in your local comic book shops. We start this issue out going over the recent thoughts of Wally West. He's thinking about how everything is out of step, that time has been broken, rearranged, edited, and even some parts entirely erased. Wally thinks back to once being Kid Flash, running side by side with his mentor Barry Allen, the Flash, and how from there he joined a team of other sidekicks, and how they were Teen Titans. Wally says to himself, "Man, those were the times." Eventually, Wally ended up becoming the Flash after his mentor Barry Allen seemingly died in the events of Crisis on Infinite Earth, and Wally took on the mantle of the Flash. Soon after, Wally West found the love of his life, and he was happier than he'd ever been before. But then, something terrible happened. Something reached into the world and changed and rewrote everything in their lives, and took everything from Wally West. His wife and his friends had all forgotten about him. Wally ended up in a place outside of time. He'd never felt so alone in his life. But then, Barry Allen was finally able to remember Wally, and he reached out to him and brought him back into our time. After that, Wally told Barry everything, and told him someone is watching them. He can feel it even now. Barry tells Wally they need to find out who did this, and Wally tells Barry he's going to start by looking up the rest of his old Teen Titans, and he jokes to Barry that he thinks he's already late enough for the reunion. Barry tells Wally that he needs a new suit, and jokes to Wally that he's no longer a Kid Flash anymore. He's a Flash! As Wally runs away, on his way to find his old friends, he reweaves the molecules in his suit to make a new one, because Barry was right. Wally is a Flash! Wally is more focused now than ever to find his friends, rejoin the team, and put things right as fast as he can. We then jump back to the present, right after the events of Titans Rebirth, Issue 1. The Titans are reunited at Dick Grayson's loft in Gotham City, and Wally West has just told Lilith everything. Then he jokes, "What's next? You want me to tell you my name?" Lilith replies, "Yes, saying our names to each other strengthens our psychic link," and says, "So, who are you?" "I'm Wally West, the fastest man alive," Wally says. She replies with, "I'm Lilith Clay, and my code name with the Titans is Omen, and I'm also your friend," and then tells Wally to just relax. Lilith then uses her powers to enter Wally's thoughts, and says she is getting a very powerful thought from Wally's mind. It's a name. Lilith asks Wally, "So, who's Linda Park?" And Wally replies, "Linda is a girl I knew from my time, before everything got messed up." And then Garth jokes, "We're all here trying to save the world, and Wally's got a girl on his mind?" "Attaboy," says Roy Harper, and then Donna Troy cuts in. "Stop it, guys. Wally's in love. It's sweet." Wally admits that he is in fact in love with Linda Park, and adds in, "Now she doesn't even remember who I am." Nightwing tries to offer his friend some advice and tells Wally to find Linda, talk to her, make some new memories and new history. Nightwing, always focused on the mission, also asks Wally if they can give this another shot. Let Lilith use her powers again to search Wally's memories, looking for anything they can find to have an edge over whoever this threat may be. Lilith starts memeing on Wally and says, "I can try, but there's a whole lot of Linda in there right now." Roy adds in and says, "Give the guy a sec," and tells Wally, "Nightwing is right, you can meet Linda again." And then Wally says, with sadness in his heart, "I already did try. I appeared to Linda in a crackling of lightning, with thunder, and I was babbling about knowing her and loving her, and all that did was terrify Linda." Over in Keystone City, at the apartment of Linda Park, we see Linda relaxing and having some snacks on her laptop. "My name is Linda Park, and I'm the fastest reporter in town." Linda thinks to herself she has to be to even get a break on a news story in this town. Super News! Her website is a Bush League level news site, so she has to be fast to beat the major news outlets on a scoop, hoping one day that she can get her big break and get a job from one of the major news outlets themselves. Linda is motivated to pay off her student debt and save her mother's house, and also one day wants to be a somebody. On her laptop screen, we see Linda is looking into the recent electrical storms and strange lightning, as she thinks to herself, "A man in yellow and red appeared to me last night. He looked just like a Flash. I've never seen him before. Maybe he's a hero, maybe he's a villain. Either way, he's a new meta in town, and that's kind of a big deal. The weirdest part about the whole thing is that he said he even knew me, and that we were together, and that his name was Wally West." It scared Linda to even think about it, but she was sure of one thing as she got dressed and ready to start her day. It's a big story, and it's her story. Linda then gets a phone call from someone who seems to know something about the strange lightning storm that happened last night, and so then she leaves, ready to meet this person, because Linda also wants to know one thing: who was that crazy man from last night? Back at Dick Grayson's loft in Gotham City, the Titans are discussing the threat. You know, the massive threat that eats time and erases memories and is probably cruel to puppies too, Donna Troy jokes. Donna wishes the threat had a name, and Tempest says we should call it Keekboo. Yeah, if we were weird, Donna Troy jokes again. It was a dolphin, I knew. He was mean, says Tempest. Tempest then suggests to the rest of the team that we may have already tangled with this threat before and says, before Wally came back, it was Mr. Twister who enchanted all of us, and that we aren't the only ones who were enchanted by Mr. Twister's thrall. Also, Mammoth was enchanted too, remember? Nightwing agrees with Garth and thinks maybe Mammoth knows something they don't. Arsenal tells Nightwing that he will check out a few leads, as he thinks Mammoth used to be muscle for hire for some local drug gangs in the Bowery. Great idea, Nightwing says, then tells Wally that, while Roy is doing that, Wally should let Lilith work her magic and take another look inside his thoughts. Over at the Gotham City Bowery, Arsenal is shooting arrows first and asking questions later as he gets into a full-scale brawl with a gang of local drug dealers. Roy asks the gang while still fighting them about Mammoth, saying, you know, the really big guy, ugly as hell, guy who used to do all your heavy lifting, where is he? As Arsenal is fighting one of the goons, another from behind him tells Arsenal that Mammoth works for that nutjob Simon, but this info won't do you any good, Arsenal, as the goon aims his gun at the back of the distracted Arsenal. Just then, Donna Troy smashes the goon and crushes the gun and says to Arsenal, hey, at least I got a name, Simon. Wow, Arsenal says with a smile towards Donna. Donna Troy asks Roy how he knew where to easily find this group of local drug dealers, and Roy tells Donna, it's never hard to find them. This place has a bad habit, and these guys feed off of it. Sides, I used to be one of them. Really? Donna Troy asks Roy, as he tells her how he's got chunks of his past he's not proud of, and that he used to deal because he used to use. Which is a nod to a classic Green Arrow story that covers Roy Harper's former drug addiction. Donna Troy then says, having my past stolen from me really hurt me. Then asks Roy if that's what made him turn to drugs. Roy replies by saying, I could take the easy way out and say yes, but then he says, no one made me who I am except me. Then Roy tells Donna, I kicked it, and I want to make sure no one else has to kick it too, and that since he used to deal, he knows how these goons work. As one of the dealers, who is now tied up, casually says, hey Roy! Sup Jerry, Roy jokingly replies. Donna Troy tells Roy how sad it is that we all lost so much, and Roy comforts Donna by saying, let's get it all back then, all the good things we lost, and make ourselves whole again. Back at Dick Grayson's Gotham City loft, Lilith is still working on reading Wally West's mind, searching for a clue about the threat that will face them soon. Maybe we should take a break, says Wally. Lilith replies saying, it's okay, just try to focus on something other than Linda. Take your mind off it. Focus on your early days, perhaps as Kid Flash. Just then, Roy and Donna walk in with pizza in their hand, asking if they're still at it. Relentlessly, Garth jokes, maybe some brain food will help, Roy suggests. I take it the Mammoth lead came up blank, Nightwing asks, as Donna Troy replies, actually, we found out that he works for the Simon now. Too slow, Wally says to Garth as he grabs a slice of pizza. Hold still, Wally, Lilith says as she's reading a present, but she lost it, and Wally says, it's okay, you're giving it your best shot, Lilith. Donna Troy tells the team, this is silly, we should go back out and follow this lead, and find this Simon guy together, as Titans. I'm with Donna, Roy says, there's no substitute for getting answers the old-fashioned way. Well then, after you, Mr. Harper, Donna says with a smirk. Roy replies by saying, come on, Wally, let's see if you're as fast as... Just then, Ullman cuts everyone off by saying, wait, I felt something, the same presence as before. It's like I reached so deeply into Wally's mind that I touched the mind of someone else's. Lilith continues saying, it was awful mind, closed, shuttered, dormant, no memories there at all, and by touching it, I woke it up. We have to go to Keystone City right now, Ullman shouts. I think I've done something terrible. Meanwhile, at a child's birthday party in Keystone City, Hocus Pocus, an old magician, is hosting the party, doing all kinds of tricks, and yet none of the partygoers are impressed, and the kids think the old magician is lame and just darn right bad at magic. The birthday boy, Billy, didn't even want a magic show. Billy wanted to go to Space World. He wanted to go on the faster-than-light ride. Just then, the old magician, Hocus Pocus, begins to feel faint, and he grabs his head. The mother asks if he's okay, and if this is a part of the act. With a white lightning surrounds Hocus Pocus, and he looks to be in pain. I'm scared, the birthday boy says. Are you okay, Mr. Hocus Pocus? The boy says. Yes, I'm fine. In fact, I just remembered something. It all came back to me in a flash. The old magician now looks completely different. He's much younger and skinnier, with slight craziness look in his eye. Billy, the birthday boy, tells his mom, "I wanted to go to Space World, and magic is dumb." The magician replies by saying, "Magic is dumb, is it? You wanted to go to space, did you?" Just then, the magician sends them all to the surface of the moon and asks the party guests, "Is this enough space for you?" All the party guests begin grabbing their throats and choking as they're unable to breathe in space. Then, a pop, and all the guests and the magician are sent back to the party. "Relax, you can all breathe again. You weren't going to die. If you died, how could you tell your friends?" Then he demands a round of applause. All the party guests begin clapping. "You're too kind," the magician says. One of the party guests asks, "What's happening?" and asks the magician, "Who are you?" The magician replies, "You don't know who I am? Of course not. I fear everyone has forgotten me. My name is not Hocus Pocus. I don't know what I was thinking when I came up with that. I am, in fact, tremendously famous, and there's one act in which I should be especially celebrated for. I am Abracadabra, the greatest magician of all time, the man who made Wally West disappear, and for my next trick, I'm going to destroy him." Comic published by DC Comics. All rights, story, arts, and characters are owned by DC Comics and their respective owners, not me. This has been Titans Rebirth, Issue 2, and I'm your host, Keith One Shot. If you like this video, make sure to support DC Comics. Pick up a copy of the trades or single-issue comics. Support your local comic book shop. Take care, and have a great day. Goodbye.